This is your daily market recap for Monday, July 10th, 2023. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka The Trading Agent. This is your daily market recap for Monday, July 10th, 2023. Hope you're having a great day. If you get a chance, check out the live chat we did earlier. I will post the link, attach it to this video. But yeah, another interesting day. Usually the Mondays after a week, up, down, choppy. Remember, it is the summer. I wouldn't get too excited about anything at this point. You're going to have, I don't know, a little bit of everything. But at this point, yeah, we've got bigger fish to fry with data, the PPI, CPI later this week. However, we'll say that the Chinese inflation data coming out really quick. Consumer credit, I am mind-boggled how fast that's coming down. It seems like spending is coming down huge. As we've said, there's a recession coming. It's just a matter of when and how the market price is in. So if you have any questions, again, please reach out. I'm here to help whenever possible. So if you're new to the channel, want to join the Discord room, link is in the description below. Please follow on Twitter, posting a ton of stuff. Here's the recap as well, or the chat earlier. Hit us up on any social media outlet. If you're newer to the channel, check out YouTube. Tons of videos from real estate to trading to how to trade, to all sorts of things. Also, check out my webpage, thetradingagent.com. Back to Basics education series. The beginner videos at the top, more advanced as you go through. If you're looking for higher yield and you're getting shafted by your bank, I'm telling you, Marcus Goldman Sachs, 5.15% is a good deal. And also, too, every time you refer someone, you get another 3 months. And if the rates go up, they bump your rate up, too. It's been pretty awesome. So if you have any questions, again, about anything related to this video, don't hesitate to reach out. All right, Fed Watch Tool. Looks like rate hike coming. Rate hike be a coming. It's pretty simple. I would just... And again, data could change. CPI, who knows? I mean, 2 weeks seems like forever, but at this point, you never know. Bitcoin, as I've warned people, if you've got profits, I'd be looking to harvest some. No guarantee, going from 16,000 up to almost 32 and doubling. Very Bitcoin-ish, but don't be surprised. Again, the Fed's raising rates, trying to hit inflation, are going to try to pull liquidity out of the system and do what? To commodities, gold, potentially Bitcoin, knock them down. Same thing with oil. We've said it's going to be choppy and sloppy. No matter, even if OPEC cuts, demand destruction. This is what happens. The best time to buy commodities, probably this stuff will be when the Feds decide to do what? Cut rates. They're not there yet. Natural gas, same kind of thing. Leave it alone, little doggy. I don't know, find better things. Dollar, we've talked about the 200-day, seems to be caught in a rock and a hard place. TLT, same thing, stuck between 99, 109, 110. Talking about the trap down here. Watch the volume, because we could be bottoming down here. Either way, I don't really see much to get concerned about with the dollar or bonds until the volatility and such picks up. The VIX looks like it's basing. Could it back test the 20-day? That would be my guess. Sometime this week it potentially could do that. The VIX, as we've talked about, the volatility of the volatility index is picking up. Basing, make your higher lows. And as the VIX is down near the lows, the VIX is holding up. Says a lot. Just a matter of when, not if. SPY, we talked about the M top novice gap on the last day of the month. Watch the 20-day. If any point starts pulling back, I think you can start looking for reference areas. So around 420 would be the first major support. I could see us also 405. I mean, I'm seeing a bigger pullback when it happens. It's just, again, it won't be a straight line move. Knowing how this stuff works, it'll drop, it'll chop, it'll drop, it'll chop, it'll drop. And then the last leg will be nuclear straight line move. Anyway, QQQ, same thing. Watch the 20-day. Been riding the 20-day, this red line all the way up. At this point, I'm not really too concerned about it. It's just a matter of if and when it breaks. IWM's been lagging, chopping around all over the place. You know, as the QQQ's made higher highs, IWM lagging. Small cap should lead. DIA lagging, stuck, not going anywhere fast. Gold, as we've talked about, not really sure. Other than told you to sell in May, March, April. I think, again, I'm not really sure, actually. I'm rather confident that it's not going to go anywhere fast. And that's where it's kind of similar like Bitcoin. I mean, I think they base out, and at some point they knock them down. That's when you come there with the net and you start scooping it up. Silver, we talked about the 200-day holding. So far, so good. Talked about bouncing, maybe the 50-day. Again, if you want to trade this stuff, go right ahead. I just don't see that there's really, you just trade around it. I don't think there's monster moves, but there's moves. GDX, same thing. Higher low, 20-day. Watch the probably 100-day, 50-day when they cross is probably where they'll converge. GDXJ, led down, lower highs. Same kind of thing. Probably somewhere in this 37, 38. If you have to trade it, go right ahead. AG, oversold due to bounce. It's a pretty solid 8 to 5. All right, well, what's next? 100-day trend line. That's what I'd be watching. AEM, talked about this one. Fake out, breakout, comes back, chopping. Probably watch somewhere in the low 50s. Again, all this stuff, if you really have to trade it, go right ahead. I don't know. I just don't really see much with it. Newmont, pass, going nowhere. Pass, a lot of the same thing, going nowhere. It's Taiwan Semi. Talk about all you want. Chip numbers are not looking good. Head and shoulders top. Galaga top. Pew, 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 pew. Under the 20-day. Looks bearish to me. Micron, they had their, I think they warned, or was their earnings? Can't remember whatever it was. It's terrible. It's been terrible. I mean, it's just people, again, buy the, I mean, it goes from 100 down to 40, does a little dance up, and then they get excited about it. It's like dead cat bounce. Personally think it's going much lower in time. Had this chip rant many a times. Will save my breath. AMD, same kind of thing. Pop up, nice rally off of this 50 to double, triple. No, wow, 56 though. 132, blow off top. Talked about it holding in this area, bouncing, chopping around. At this point, again, swing trading, not always straight line moves, y'all. Just consolidating. NVIDIA, warning. Watch the 20-day in red. Until then, it's holding up. Can't really argue with it. Intel, blow off top, holds the 50-day, 20-day, somewhere in this range. I mean, I could see it hitting 33s. I think it's a screaming short. Semiconductors index, said the 20-day, chopping around it. Now, again, could you feel this gap? I mean, again, at 152, anywhere in this area, left shoulder, right shoulder, whatever, choppiness. Keep an eye on it. Adobe, nice rally today. Holding the 20-day. As we talked about, watch this 500 area. Apple, Foxconn, suppliers, not interested. Said, watch the 20-day. It held it so far. But is this a professional gap? Just keep an eye on this. I mean, if it continues lower, we'll know that for sure, because here's the novice gap trap on the last day of the month. 20-day breaks. So does the price action. Amazon, I think they have their prime day coming up. 20-day holding on by a thread. Stuff doesn't really look that great. CRM, CEO sells 100 million shares. Awesome sauce. 20-day chopping. Guggenheim looks like it's starting to break. Don't really have faith in it. Look at this thing. Professional gap down. Holding on by a thread. Meta, again, they can add 100 million users on threads, but is people really going to use it? I don't know. This looks like a buy the rumor, sell the news. It looks pretty distributive up here. We'll see what happens. Microsoft broke the 20-day. Rally back somewhat into the end of the day, but it's still below it. Again, a lot of these names that have led looking weak. NDAQ, we talked about this forever. NASDAQ index, the exchange is dead. People don't realize the volumes that we're trading in the 2000s and 21s from COVID bubble. People are not going to be trading tech. I'm telling you, it's a long-term dead trade. You'll see, whatever, it is what it is. Watch how it holds. MicroStrategy, nice little rally today. Breaks out. All right. Again, next point, I would say somewhere in the 420s. Keep an eye on it. Netflix, chop. Chopping near the highs. Again, it's another one. Watch the 20-day. Roblox, stuck in perpetual sideways purgatory. Covered call machine. Again, I like it at lower prices. I think they are a buyout target at some point. Today, not so much. Tesla, man, this is a novice gap. Really want to see it test this trend line. I don't know if it'll get there or not, but if you're short from the highs and you have references, you have stops, you have defined your risk. So far, so good. All right, commodities, they rallied on the China stimulus and then gap down. They're chopping. They look like they're just in no man's land. Summer chop purgatory. Nucor holding up a little better. All right, chop. Caterpillar, I hope this thing gets up into the 250s. I think you've got a great short if it can get up there. Chopping around, holding the 20-day so far. Just keep it simple, stupid. VALE, global growth's on fire, right? Meh. This name is just waterlogged, going nowhere. Arrow, again, we like this name long-term. When commodities pull back, it's a stronger, smaller copper name. Clearly you need a lot of copper in the future. Just keep it on it. I mean, again, what price is it going to blow off? I don't know. Uranium, keep an eye on it. Again, I think the stuff is topped. It's just waiting for the next purge in the market. CF, we talked about these things, dead cat bouncing. because they're oversold, and now you're holding the 50-day. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if these things go sideways. Mosaic, same thing. I mean, I like the price action. I mean, I like the prices down here. I just don't know if I trust them. I've seen this game before. They just go sideways and they just chop around. But they might be bottoming first, but they also might be setting up the base where they get the retest of the high volume areas at the range lows. NTR, they'll look the same. Another global growth name that looks stunning. AA, Alcoa. Range lows. I mean, I've got so many trend lines. This thing is just ugly. Clean out the ashtray. Jesus, this is just fugly. But long story short, at this point, man, I'd love to see it backtest this trend line later. Financials seem to be holding up. You got bank earnings at the end of the week. Keep that in mind. Holding up. Could they squeeze a little higher? I mean, I doubt we're going to get up into these 35s, but I mean, there is the 20 month at 34.74. I mean, I don't know. 35. I mean, it's always possible. Again, I don't trust these things, but do what you got to do. KRE, chop, 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 chop. Holding the 50-day. We talked about oversold rally. Sorry, oversold rally was coming. Chopping around. Again, if you can get in the mid 40s, I think it's a short. JP Morgan holding up relatively well. If you shorted up here and traded around it, define your risk. If you stopped out, you have to. You want to wait for earnings. I understand that as well. Morgan Stanley, another name that's been just, again, a lot of the other names looking like crap, but it is holding this 82 area. Goldman Sachs, chop, 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 holding trend. At this point, again, if you feel like you have to do something, just step back. Like, where does that need come from? Desire to do what? XBI, here you go. All right, little oversold rally again with the market in the position it is. Like, you're gonna see names fire off, fire down, fire off, fire down all over during the summer, because right now we're just, again, I think we're at the top of the range. We're gonna turn down in time, but it doesn't mean necessarily the market's gonna peel like an onion just yet. No one's crying. So far, a little rally. I wouldn't be surprised if the 85s get hit in kapow. Good old solar. We talked about this one, chopping around, holding range lows. All right, that's just is what it is. ENPH, again, as we said, if you want to short it, wait for it to break the lows. You're now over the 20, 50-day. I mean, at this point, it seems very logical. You might come right back into the 188s, but here's the play on it. Just do what you got to do. Just ten cuidado. Sedgerton, we talked about shorting this one and then dropping and then bouncing below the trend line. Not surprised, and failing the 20-day. I don't know, could it get up to 280s? Again, a lot of this has to do with what? The reaction to the CPI. First Solar, as we talked about, I'd like this thing shorting on pops. Talked about this day being the blow off top. Could you get into the 190s, low 200? That is always possible. HYG, we talked about this one, breaking the trend. Trying to get back into it. Is it really going to break through all of these moving averages? I don't think so, Tim. We'll end it with oil and gas, as we always do. Got the fire. Again, if you have any questions, reach out. I mean, this is just what it is. Oil, again, expecting chop, chop, chop at some point, a capitulation. UNG, UN gangster, leave it alone, going sideways. The XO Pizzle, not surprised, chopping around. We've talked about it, playing games. I mean, it's just one of those things where at this point, I don't know, could you get up? I mean, there's a lot of moving parts here, a lot of converging, a lot of stuff going on here. It's just it just looks ugly. I'm sorry to say that. It seems chopness. ExxonMobil, again, break the 101s. If you short it up here, you're trading around it, you're hanging out, letting it do what it's got to do. Just keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Occidental, again, Buffett just probably selling calls, going nowhere fast. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's just the reality of the market sometimes. PXD, another one, chopping, chop, 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 chop. I mean, just an endless chop. And if you've never been involved in it, now you see it. EQT getting up into this, 40 range, chopping around. Flex LNG, we'll end it here as usual. Love the dividend. Looks like it's going sideways. Not really too excited about it at this point. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out. The market in the summer can be sloppy and choppy. I tell that to people all the time. It can be trendless. The market's waiting for what? CPI, PPI, Fed, end of the month. There's so many things. Again, I think the market is topping, but does it mean it rolls over, or could it be in August? Again, people who pay attention know I've said this over and over. It's tough to know exactly when, but that's where you define your risk, and you're going to be wrong. If you think in trading you're never going to lose, you are high as a kite. All right, I will see you guys and gals later. Have a good night. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.